It is Sunday evening, 7:53 Eastern. Uh, we're with U.S. Senator Angela Alsobrooks of Maryland. She just got off of that elongated call, the Democratic caucus call about the quote unquote ICE crisis. Why was the meeting so long? What were the contentious points?
Well, you know what? I mean, I think you can imagine that all of us, similar to every American, feel deeply concerned about what we're seeing. And something more than that, people are enraged, people are angry, people are hurt, people are just really determined, first of all, that no one wants to spend another penny on DHS or on this operation. That we've seen the deployment of these people who are untrained, who are depraved, who are killing Americans. In cities across it, we look at what's happening in Minnesota, and you can just imagine the deep concern about where our country is headed. Quite frankly, you know that if you can do this somewhere in an American city, you can do it any place, and it is a very fast-moving approach toward really seeing our democracy continue to be dismantled. It is so the concern is there and just really robust conversation.
And the concern was after the second killing in 3 weeks in Minnesota by ICE, this time by 37-year-old Alex Pretti, a VA ICU nurse
Yeah.
who had a gun, who was actually allowed to carry. He was exercising his Second Amendment right, and he
Mhm.
was killed dead on the scene. So, what was the conversation about that? Because we understand that, as you said, this is about the appropriations bill with DHS this week. Can Democrats make a difference by standing down and rejecting this bill unless you get restrictions on immigration enforcement?
Well, first of all, let me just step back and talk about what this is really about. This is Trump's America. This is Trump's America. When he said he wanted to address violent people, immigrants, we now understand that really what he meant was that he was going to kill Americans. He is willing to kill Americans. We look at how just again the depravity. We look at the thug-like behavior of the people who are on the ground in Minnesota. The lawlessness of it that we killed Alex Pretti. And why? Because he had a camera in his hand, a phone trying to record what was happening there,
An observer.
and an observer. And these people, it took six of them, by the way, because they're so cowardly to hold down a man who was there with his hands in the air half the time and with a phone. The same group of people who felt it appropriate to fly a 2-year-old. A 2-year-old. These are the people who are supposed to be dangerous. A 2-year-old was sent to Texas. We look at the 5-year-old who was there, who was detained. So this is Trump's America. You know, charted the man out of his house, an American citizen who was half dressed. And so none of what has been promised has been delivered. Americans, we should be asking ourselves, are we better off? It is now that it is not affordable to live here, and these people are unaccountable. And so, if you're asking what it is, we feel all of us agree it needs to stop. The deployment, they need to get the whole heck out of Minnesota right now. They have no real purpose for being there. They are untrained. They don't know what they're doing. And the national standards that we hold for general police and law enforcement apparently do not apply to these people who do not have body cameras, who have covered their faces. And I don't even want to tell you, the cover of the face is just a disturbing detail. We've seen this someplace before in our history, but
Let's
we have
try
these people.
slavery and the KKK. Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. That is what it feels like.
Yeah.
And so we have now unleashed these people with the mask on because they are both ashamed of what they're doing and they're cowards. We see this, they do not have body cameras, as I've mentioned. We need judicial warrants, not these administrative warrants. So we need them to at least follow the standards that we hold our police officers to, but they somehow are not even held to the same standard, the national standards that have been established for our police officers. And so this is a really disturbing trend. And let me just also say this. Let's level set. The Republicans, my colleagues, what we really need in this moment, people keep asking, what should the Democrats do? What we all should be asking is when will these Republicans, do those who have any conscience, when do they say enough is enough? The ones who funded this big, beautiful bill that already set loose $74 billion, they have already super funded this. So we need to stop it.
So, will there be a mass protest of Democrats in the Senate? Will there be a consensus of Democrats in the Senate that will reject this appropriations bill that calls for $20 million for body cams and only $2 million for de-escalation efforts?
I think what you'll see is Democrats will be saying, and basically with a degree of unity, that we don't want another penny spent on this
Mm,
operation, and that we want standards to be put in place. That we want this not only this conduct to stop, this mass deployment and the killing of Americans. That's what we
yeah.
wanted to stop. But we also, when you talk about the funding, whether or not we put more money toward this, I think you're going to see all of us say in unison no. But again, I want us to level set, April, and let the American people know that these Republicans have already superfunded this. So we need them to stand with us. We need the Republicans to stand with us. But I'm a no about another penny. And I think you're going to find that my colleagues will be saying the same thing. Absolutely not another penny for this.
So the Department of Homeland Security is, well, the ICE agents are already funded till 2029, correct?
That's correct.
Now,
They're, mhm.
go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, that's right. So 79 billion or $75 billion has already been forward funded through the that big ugly bill. So you're right, but should we be adding more money to it is the question, and I think you're going to find that most people will say no.
And in my last minute or so with you, and I thank you for your time, at this moment, with the Democrats standing strong, saying we don't want to add any more money, could that create a problem for the midnight deadline on January 30th that we could see another government shutdown? The last one was the longest in history by Donald Trump. Could
Well,
this
well, let's see
be?
what well let's see what the Republicans do. Let's see what they do. Again, this is in their control whether or not they want to continue this terrorizing of American citizens, whether it's worth it to them. We'll see what they do. That's who we should be looking at, is to see whether or not they agree with this depravity, with the murdering in cold blood of American citizens on our streets, and whether they want to continue to fund it. And you can rest assured the answer from us is that we do not want to. The
Mm,
question is whether or not the Republicans have any moral center. Our country has lost its moral center, and
mm.
whether or not any of my colleagues will bring it back.
Thank you, U.S. Senator Angela Alsobrooks from Maryland. I mean, if it can happen in Minnesota, it can happen anywhere in this nation. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Thank you.